Hi everybody, it is December 19, 2021. With all of the storms just in this past week, how destructive, the devastation, the loss of life, not just the two-legged but the four-legged. I had no idea that there were wildfires in Kansas. Apparently, wildfires 4 days ago, incredibly destructive. And wait until you hear where they were.
Temperatures triggered a massive wildfire in north central Kansas. This is video from a large fire just west of Plainville.
I want you to pay attention to the straight line. There's a reason. You'll find out in a few minutes.
From a viewer, and we're told there are multiple fires and evacuations in that area. Homes were destroyed yesterday or damaged. KSN's Zach Martin, boots on the ground there in north central Kansas.
Good morning, Jeff. We've been out here between Paradise and Waldo for the past several hours as fire crews continue to battle these wildfires that started yesterday afternoon. I'm going to have our photojournalist James Hayer go ahead and pan to the left. You can still see over the horizon very large wildfires still being handled, and we've got Osborne County Fire as well as a lot of other volunteer and full-time fire departments trying to put out these flames. I spoke to one homeowner from Natoma. It has been several hours ago. Told me last night, though, that as many as 6 houses have been burned due to these fires. We're going to continue to update you both online and on air as we continue to get more information. I can tell you, as we were driving up here, we didn't see flames for about an hour and a half, but between those 90 minutes, we could smell smoke the entire way. This is really affecting north central Kansas, and we're not too sure when it's going to end.
When is it going to end? Okay. Now, it is very upsetting to see this, but this is reality. Paradise, Kansas. Homes, cattle, no doubt other animals are dead. Dead. Look at the white flames. That means this is incredibly hot. The white flames. Really? It's a grass fire? And it's so incredibly hot? The signatures of directed energy used in Paradise, Kansas? Well, I can't play these videos because it is live storms media. What is it called? Live storms media. Don't play their videos because you will get a copyright strike. Paradise, Kansas. Okay. This is hard. It's hard to see. But it's reality. And it's not a reality I like to see. But look at these homes. Okay. Gutted. A grass fire. And some of the trees are fine. Oh, yeah. The signatures of directed energy weapons. This is gutted. Nothing. Vaporized. Really? This is from a grass fire. A wildfire. A wildfire? This bush is fine. Trees are fine. Oh my God. Homes are gone. Ranches. I'm going to play just even under a minute of this. I will link below to it. But the largest wildfire no one knows about.
This is going to be your warning if you have a sensitive stomach. You do not want to see animals that have been burned alive, essentially, by a wildfire. Don't watch this video any longer. Okay, this is your warning. What you're looking at is the remains of a fire that burned through north central Kansas near the town of Paradise. And this is one of the most disturbing sights I've ever seen covering wildfires over a span of the last 15 years. So in the field, you can see just dead and now bloated cattle sitting where they burned alive.
I'm sorry because I know that a lot of you don't want to see this, but this is happening. This is happening in the floods. This is happening in the fires. This is happening in tornadoes. And, you know, I mean, it is so horrendous. It's so horrific. But the evil that we are facing right now is very real and hard, very hard to face. Do we ignore it? Well, for all of the people suffering the consequences of weather used as a weapon, directed energy weapons used in these fires, it's such a slap in the face to them, even if they don't know what. Oh my God. Okay. So, really, it's sitting in the burn area. How many times have we seen similar pictures like this? Completely fine, not melted, gutted. Trees, okay, gutted. Paradise, Kansas. Paradise, Kansas. Coincidence? I don't think so. Gutted. I mean, some of these shots are like, okay, are you noticing that this grass was not even touched? The burn? Really? A line of burned grass jumps over. This is a wildfire. Look at this. These patches, not even touched. Not even touched. This semi, was it on the road? Probably. What happened to the driver? Not even touched. But no mention of this. Okay. All of these areas were not even touched. But this wildfire somehow burned up all of this area, all of the black areas that you see, but just leapt over other little pieces left untouched. Okay, signatures of directed energy weapons. Tree, fine. Bush, fine. Gutted. Gutted. Nothing left. Destroyed. Vaporized. Look at this. Complete. I'm flattened, vaporized, everything with this barn or structure. Nothing left of these. A grass fire would do this, and it doesn't even look like the fire. You see a few black spots, but this fire somehow just leveled these structures, but left untouched the ground around it. Over and over again, do we see this? Really? Left untouched. Okay, wildfire. Wildfire. So hot that it vaporized the homes, but somehow left untouched this piece of plastic toy. Not even any soot on it, not even any marks on it, except for down here. It is literally laying in the burned grass, but left untouched this, but gutted the vehicles, the homes, vaporized, brought to nothing. Nothing. You know, I can't stand this. I cannot stand this. This is hard, man. It's really. Okay. I've posted several videos recommending that people check out Jeff Snyder 2's channel. Here he is, filming 3 simultaneous plasma fires between Butte and Missoula, Montana. I-90. Okay, when I was in Montana, coming down the mountain, I saw very unusual, what looked like flameless fires coming up from the ground, smoke that you see right here. No, there were no homes around, no barns. It wasn't a controlled burn that a lot of people do in Montana. There were just pockets of smoke coming up from the ground. I thought, okay, something very strange is happening. And it was just kind of in the brush or just right off the road, trees around. You can't see any homes or anything. You're driving down, you know, and boom, smoke coming from the ground. When I came across Jeff Snyder's video, I began to understand what was happening.
We got some flames over here now. It's like it hit a hot spot. And you can see the smoking right over here, completely separate from the fire over here. And yeah, it's hitting hot spot. Oh wow, these mosquitoes are coming at me. You see how it hit a hot spot right there? And it's got a much thicker plume going up now. It did that once during the initial video that I had on portrait mode of the camera before I flipped it around and started the second video where it sent up a big thick plume like this, much thicker than anything above it. And now it's really starting to go. And fire doesn't surge like that. With the breeze, what it is, a 5-mile-an-hour breeze, and the ground cover being what it is, consistently across the ground, surges like that would not happen. And over here, I don't know if you can really see it in the camera, but there's still extra little plumes of smoke over here from this part that was burning. That black area right there, that just burned also. The question I have is, why is it burning a straight line? Right there. Smart fires with GPS. Is that what it is? Underground fiber optics and electrical conduits or something? Notice the difference between the white smoke and the brown smoke. Not sure what that indicates yet. But you can also see this foreground area is lighting back up right there. There was a surge right there. How do you get these surges when the ground cover is even? There's about 6 to 12 inches of foliage on the ground. So if I get a good chance, I'm going to come back through here and look at the aftermath. See, now this spot that's flaming up, the foliage right there is a little longer. So that's understandable. Over here you see two separate fires, one there in the foreground and one a little bit further behind it, completely separate from this. Just to the left of this smoke above my finger, there's another one there, and then just down from there in the foreground. I guarantee when I go out there, I'll be able to see the fractal burn patterns as is produced with Lichtenberg burning, where you apply electricity to wood. So how is it that this fire got that big of a surge? When the wind is moving consistently at 5 miles an hour, and the amount of fuel that it has to burn is consistent across the ground, evenly distributed. Other than in parts like this where there's extra fuel.
So you can watch this, I will link below, but it begins to go out. Okay. How did it start? Why is it stopping? And why is it in several different areas? Why is it so kind of straight lined? We have seen this before, and no doubt we'll see it again. Why is it so hot? If anybody has driven through Kansas on I-90, you know that it's hell, because it's just a straight shot that goes on for mile after mile after mile after mile, and there's almost no trees, and you have very, few homes that you see, but you see farms and farms and farms, and you see very little fuel for a fire that would literally gut homes. You look at these homes and there's like nothing left in them. How does that happen? California Fires PDF on directed energy weapons proves melting vaporization damage to scale. This is on Never Lose Truth 1, Directed Energy Weapons playlist. You can see what they did in Iraq with directed energy weapons. and their unimaginable destructive power. Paradise, Kansas. Well, this is what Paradise, Kansas, and other towns around it, because, well, you only hear about the most, the cities that, or towns like Mayfield, Kentucky, that mainstream media, Mayfield, 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 Mayfield. Well, so many areas, not just in Kentucky, and I'm not, please, the destruction in Mayfield was horrendous. So I'm not lessening what's going on, but people have to know that there are so many towns in Kentucky that were leveled, so many places in Arkansas, so many places in all of the states that were hit with the tornadoes. Then a few days later, we get more tornadoes up in the north, mid areas of the country. I didn't even know that this was taking place, this wildfire. Because I guess for some reason the national mainstream media decided just not to tell us about this. Well, this is what Kansas has been going through.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Brett Bagansky. It is one for the record books for the month of December. Not only do we have record warm temperatures, but it mixed in with a powerful storm system that swept across our state and throughout the heartland Wednesday. So here is some of the damage from the gusty wind. At certain times, the wind gusts reached more than 90 miles per hour. In other places, it reached up to 100 miles per hour. This storm system knocked down trees and power poles. And KDOT had no choice but to close the highways in the western part of our state because of low visibility and overturned semis. And this morning, Governor Laura Kelly issued a state of disaster emergency because of wildfires burning around the state, specifically in northern and western Kansas. Because of this declaration, state resources can help local fire departments put out the fires. The National Guard deployed Black Hawk helicopters to provide assistance from the sky. And many of those fires are still burning as we speak. And perhaps the largest and most destructive one is in north central Kansas. Take a look here. Hundreds of square miles burned and several homes are now gone. Along the Osborne-Russell County line, KSN's Hunter Funk is live at the scene. And Hunter, you just spoke with the sheriff.
Brett, yeah, this area, I'm just a little south of Paradise, where this area has just been hit really hard. If you look behind me, you can see it was a pickup. They just carried it off that was burned and also flipped over at the time. Now I'm going to take you over here. You can see this ranch that has been burned up, as well as some of that farm buildings. Now, the biggest challenge is ranchers have been out here all morning working to find and feed their cattle that survived. The Russell County Sheriff says he's not sure exactly how many cattle were killed in the fire, but expects it to be a large amount. Now, as for the houses burns, he estimates about 6 to 10 houses. He says that's a minimum. And the hardest part, the sheriff says, is seeing the livelihoods and the homes lost.
It's devastating for these people. These people have worked their entire lives building these places. You know, last night a lot of them lost what they've worked for a long time, not just where they sleep at, not just a roof over their head. Yeah, you had a lifetime of hard work and investment.
Now, the sheriff said this is one of the worst situations he's seen in his 25 plus years as a sheriff's officer. Now, outside of that, we have heard that 3 people were hospitalized, including 1 firefighter. We don't know the extent of the injuries, but we'll continue to bring you updates, especially for our newscast at 5 and 6. Here for you in Paradise, Hunter Funk, KSN News 3.
Unbelievable scene there, Hunter, and hopefully everybody's going to be okay. Hunter, we'll see you soon. And there's another fire that's still burning out west near the Colorado state line. Multiple crews got the call to Wichita County. A Kearney County firefighter took this picture, and KSN found out 3 homes and several outbuildings are now gone.
Okay, so California fires PDF on directed energy weapons proves melting vaporization. damage to scale. And plasma fires starting underground. Paradise. All links are below.